Welcome to Project Ruby, last episode, episode 40. Look at us going around that car park there, a taste of things to come. So we're on board now, sit back, relax, enjoy this 1.5 hours of fun as we see you and say goodbye to this series in episode 40. Sadly to say it's the last one, but let's show you how we did it. As you can see, car is done, we're flying around dodgy car parks at night. So come on in, welcome. Guys, I've wax oiled the inside of this door. I've built up the door locks and I'm now, there's the winder mechanism in on those 10mm head bolts there, and we're just getting ready to fit the glass. Then some polythene, draft proofing polythene with double-sided tape, and the door card can go on. This door's complete, locking mechanism, everything's working. So we're just going to slide the glass in now. So wiper mechanism is pretty straightforward. If you ever get stuck with your door assembly, the Haynes manual does cover it quite well. I must admit, Haynes manual, I've been referring to it quite a bit recently, and they're better than I remember actually. At least gives you a fighting chance anyway. So we saw us earlier do these winder mechanisms, keep calling it wiper mechanisms. Glass going in, here we go. Okay, and doors on this side now, just get the door alignment much the same as the other side, exact same procedure, lining up, bolting up, getting ready for this top hinge. You've got to go through the dash, so dash is out for a minute while I get in and bolt that top hinge on, then get this door alignment correct. Start building up the door systems, locking handle there, you can see that operating rod to release. I put some grease on that point, go into the lock system on the side, just test that now for release, and we're gone. We've got a locking pin there, up and down, that all fits to the locks inside the door. The Haynes manual is quite good if you get lost on that. On GXL cars they have what's called a briefcase handle, different to the handle that's normally mounted here. There's a handle normally there if you've got a plain door card. The GXL has a briefcase handle, and for that there's a bracket that fits between this aperture. If you're converting to a GXL, or if you've got new doors, watch out, you need that bracket there and some new securing tabs for it. That's for the screws to engage. I've changed my fixing point to M8 bolts, countersunk, still look the same on the briefcase handle, still chrome headed, still flush fit with a countersunk, but threaded as opposed to a self tapper. So these are little, I think they're 8mm M8 cage nuts that clip in to these two positions there. That lines up your briefcase handle. Let me get the handle, I'll show you what I mean. Look, that's for that. So not all doors have these are often missing, so you can get them again from Resto. M8 cage nut slots in exactly the same, and you change then the screws that hold your briefcase handle from self-tapping screws to threaded bolts with countersunk heads to fit in the recess there. See that recess I'm dangling? You can get the exact same looking screw that fits in. So that's one to remember if you're building your doors, that bracket there. You could make it if you've not got one. Just use your briefcase handle on this fixed point to work out where you need to put your little bracket if you had to make it, but that's what it looks like. You often see them lying around and wonder what they're for. Even I did, and you forget they're for that. So that door assembly is working and closing, so we're okay to now wax oil the door and then start with the window winder mechanism that we built and get ready for the glass. And then we put a polythene sheet here, we put self-adhesive tape, carpet tape's the best, onto here, cut it neatly, then a white polythene, we attach it on and then stretch it tight so it's got a drum effect. We want it all the way airtight, a lot of air would get into your cabin here. So we're going to polythene line the inside of the door after we've fitted the winder mechanism and of course we've got to wax oil now before we close up the door. I've still got wax oiling points in the car under the doors which you can get into later, but for now we're going to get in everywhere we can with a wax oil gun. So it's episode 40 for wax oiling offside front and back doors. Welcome to Storm Brian. It's a rough one. Glad I'm not working outside in that. Storm Brian, ladies and gentlemen. Just got the wax oil in just to get down in all those holes now. Away we go. The wax oiling in. We point up, wiggle it around. This little tool will get right into that top corner. That's where we want to be, up inside there as well. I've just had it dribbling out of that seam, and right along these edges here we want down there. Plenty of wax oil going in, then just wipe down. So door getting wax oil now. Storm Brian battering the roof. We're okay for the NEC, we're still on target. Let's keep going. Let's get this door built up now. Winder handle, mounting point. Pretty straightforward, I think. There's not much to explain on this, it all guides itself. We'll nip all these 10mm bolts up now. Okay, here's a roll of that nice window channel felt I was telling you about. So we're going to cut that to length. I do some serrated cut so it can do the right angle, just that right angle there. And then we feed that into channel, really easy to do. So we'll get that in now, makes a big difference to your glass ceiling. So on we go. As you can hear, the storm outside's battering the roof. So I'm talking over the rain there. We're still in October. We're in part 40, let's keep going. Chrome trim strips going on next, for your driver's door at least, and passenger front. This middle bar goes on first, then this left hand bar, look at that kick up there. You can get these mixed up, by the way, so just make sure you make a note and label them when you take them off, which side they came from, right on the inside. I grease them up as well there, helps put them on. So I'm just going to clip this snap on, quite easy to do. Lip over one edge and then snap it across. A wide spatula to tap them off on the inside lip. Okay, clipping these on now, chrome trim going on, then we've got the rest of the weather seals to fit. Just mounting the mirror, just so you know where it goes. You'll just see there's a cutout. My finger's going to go show you that now. There, see this recess cut out in the door, that's so you can get your socket in. We're using 10mm. Up we go like this, through this aperture, that's what that was for. And then it lines up with a 10mm bolt there, see? And then you can tighten up your mirror. Your doors probably won't have the hole for it, but it will have that recess. And that's the approximate position you fit your mirror, your Ford mirror. These were the Ford mirrors that they fitted on the earlier cars. Later ones had the Escort Mark II type. But that's that cutout there, just there for your 10mm again. Very short bolt, that one. The threads aren't deep on the mirror mount, so I've put a washer on it as well to stop it flexing the body panel. That's on both sides. So mirror is on, and that's how it fits. it does come close to the glass, but it clears it, but it is close to the glass. So that's the mirror. I'm just going to put on the trim clips. Now we're going to knock in these trim clips along here. These hold in the weather seals. They're next. Let's get the trim clips. I'll show you how I put them in. Okay, these are the trim clips for the weather seal. Bresco's 38561s, 25 in a bag. There they are. That's what they look like. And these go in these slots you'll see in the inside face of the door. And they grip the trim very nicely. I grease them just to help things. I also fit them on this side because I use the weather seal for the outside, also for the inside, because it happens to fit and looks quite neat. But we don't fit the clips on this side yet, because when you lower the glass in, the clips are in the way and can scratch the glass. On this side you're okay because your weather strip's attached and you've got a nice rubber weather seal lip keeping the glass away from it. So we fit this and put the weather strip on next. But I use this bent screwdriver here. Can you see that? Okay. And I hook the clip on the end of the screwdriver like this, and then you can offer it into the door. I'll show you what I mean. Just like this. And then I push it and slide it in. You can give it a tap sideways and it'll clip in. This helps you position it, especially that one there that you can't get to. Look, use this and you can offer it up. See how that works? You get your clips in without it being too fiddly. So I use that again with this one. You can get your clip in. So an angled screwdriver for the clip. Put a run of grease along here. Makes fitting the clips easier and the stuff doesn't seize on. Okay, so I've just used white grease there along that inside edge, and then the clips never rust. Just see if I can show you what I mean. It's just like that. See, I can only do it with two hands though, but I'm going in there and clipping across. It's probably easier on this clip to show you its position, but you've got to get your thumb and slide it across. Okay, here's a weather seal with the top of the door weather seal with a new Woolies trim piece put in. That's Woolies trim, W-O-O-L-I-E-S, Woolies. They supply this on a metre length. You cut to the right length. It's a felt lined rubber channel and you clip it in on them stainless clips on top. If you haven't got stainless clips there, they're often missing, you can tiger seal in. I always put a little bead of sealant behind it anyway. So that sits in there like that. You cut to length and now we can clip that into the door. These are quite nice, these weather seals. So I've greased up again. There's a lot of grease going around here. That just helps it to slot in. So we're going into there and we're clipping in. Then we're ready to put the glass in. And then the inside clips for the extra weather seal that I make, we do them when the door card's on. Or at least when the glass is in anyway. Okay, going to clip this into the door. That's the winder now in position. 2 bolts there. 2 just down the bottom there. 2 in the centre. What I do, just offer them up slack and then feed your glass in. Your glass feeds in into the door like that. Or you can put the glass in first and the mechanism in later on if you want. It doesn't really make any difference. Let the mechanism sit loose, get your glass into the channels and then just get a midway point where it's flowing up and down neatly. You'll feel it maybe slightly tighten up at the bottom or tighten up at the top, but you can rock the glass, adjusting the glass there, then nip those up when you're happy with an overall smooth up and down motion. We're now going to put the polythene on the door. That stops drafts getting in, so we double side tape all the way along our polythene, which you can get from builders yards. It's just pretty much it's a heavy duty polythene sheet that you buy. You can buy it in sheets from B&Q, other outlets. Stick on. 1 cut needs to be made for the rod here. Then we seal the door in. It's ready for the door card. So I'm going to cut the polythene, get the tape on now. So nearly finished this door card this side, everybody. We're building it up. We're moving on. Some nice Scotch carpet tape, it's bloody strong stuff this. On it goes, and we peel off now and offer the polythene sheet up. There's our sheet ready over there, oversized. Then we're just going to overcut it, overstick it, then slice down and remove. You could cut exactly the right shape if you wanted, but it's just as easy to overcut and then just cut down. That's what I do. Then I can pull it tight. If you do just the exact same size, it's harder to actually get that stretch effect. We want it to drum, you see. We're going to go for a ping, ping, ping. A Ray Winston ping, ping, ping. Okay. Polythene going on. I'll just take this the backing off now. This is to make the airtight seal on the door. Just cut along there. Round we go, for following that round. Okay, we're on. I've just sealed around that door handle a little bit where that cut was for the winder. So we're on. Now we can fit the door card. Don't forget your little foam donut for the winder handle. Woohoo! Oh, that's the way. Racing along in episode 40, your final episode for the Ruby series. As said before, we hope you enjoyed, but eventually it's inevitable. It would have to come to an end, guys. Let me know what you want to do about your continued viewing on the channel. We will be starting another car, but it's going to be a while off. There'll be other things for me to upload, the adventures of the Ruby at the NEC, but we'll draw it to a close then for that year. I have got some old footage and a few little videos to upload. We'll do that. Back to the car then. Bonnet is on. Did that last night. Ran out of memory card. I couldn't film that. We'll go and show you what we've done. And today sees us shipping the car out for its exhaust to be made up. Got some guys with a pipe bending machine, exhaust specialist. Happens to be quite close to where we're based. Only half an hour away from there, less. So we take it to them on the low loader. They're going to have a look and put a custom exhaust system on it. I'm hoping stainless steel if they can do it. We're going to ask them about stainless steel. May as well, the opportunity's there. Also today we've got the prop shaft measurement now. They've been under the car. We can start thinking about mechanicals now. Most of the trim's been conquered. So we measure from the output shaft of the gearbox. They've asked me to measure on the rubber seal output shaft of the box to the flange on the axle. That gave me a measurement. We take that measurement to Northwest Propshafts and they build it while we wait, or at least same day. Also some nice mats and the boot mat to pick up from Coverdale. So we're on the road again. We're on the road again. Off we go on the road. Out and about doing the jobs. Let's get a car in first to the exhaust place. And then let's set off and get the rest of them bits, then return back to base to see how things are going. We could be in a situation soon where we're able to start the car up, so that'll be exciting. If I've got a prop on, if I've got an exhaust on, nothing to stop me starting it and bleeding them brakes. Okay, we'll see you back at the workshop. Now that's a bit of a different view than we saw a month ago. Car almost in one piece on its way for a custom exhaust, stainless exhaust if they can do it. If not, they've got to modify that exhaust just to clear around the longer Granada gearbox. Now I want to get a good proper job done. I mean, yes, you can weld them yourself, that's fine. I was going to do that, but they're quite close to me, these guys, and there's a chance of a stainless system if it can be done in the time scale. So he's going to have a look at it. We're filming into the sun, so apologies for the exposure there. Camera's just trying to fight against the bright lighting, but we're on board. Still in 40, you know, it's going to end soon. I'm sorry about that, but let's keep some excitement for the MOT. And I hope to be filming on the M6 en route to the NEC. Okay, we're going to get that prop shaft sorted out as well. We need to get that prop shaft sorted, and there's some nice tailored car mats to collect. So still some goodies in the can. We can keep on going. Let's get this dropped off. We'll see you up there. Looks alright from here. car is dropped off for exhaust, and I've picked up some very nice hand-tailored mats. They're right behind me. Can't wait to get those open. So some hand-tailored mats. Let's go check out the rest of the jobs. We need a prop shaft. Let's. And we get some great service at Frost. Just picked up some glass polishing kit, some more dinner troll, and a jerry can, just in case. So we say goodbye to Frost now. Their shop's just in Warrington. Pop in if you're nearby, if you need your bits. Now let's go and get that prop shaft. Okay, an exciting part of the video now as we venture out to Northwest Propshaft in Coppell, Chorley. Again, not too far from us at the workshop. Spoken to Michael from the company, and he's been informative in telling us what we need, dimensions, and the actual specification of the prop so that he can assemble the correct parts. We're going to go across, take a look inside how they do things. They're going to talk us through the process, so quite looking forward to this. Prices are good, service over the phone's been great, so I'm looking forward to getting this prop on, and that means the car is going to be in motion pretty soon. Let's get up there, pull up there now and see what we can do. Okay, and in at Northwest, Michael's lining up the parts. So what we got there then, Mike?
This is the front reverse sleeve that goes into the gearbox. This is your old unit.
So that's off the old box there. 25 on the A4 box. So Mike offers that one up for us.
This is the rear flange that fits to your...
Okay, so we've got a matching flange, and that's on your early Atlas axles. You would be looking at, how many variants are there on that, Mike?
We see 3, commonly 2, but you can see 3 on the different axles. This is the 109mm diameter. They do have an 87mm diameter and a 97mm diameter.
Right, so if
this is the most common though.
If the guys are ringing you up, or anyone out there restoring, get to measurement across on the diameter for you.
The diameter gives us what we need to know most of the time, but this is just a bog standard Ford flange, we call it.
Okay, so there's the parts. Then we're going to move to the centrepiece, I presume, or the UJs.
These are the yokes and the centre bearing and the universal joint, that we'll use for the assembly. So we can we'll start assembling them shortly.
Okay, I'll grab this. We're in the main workshop. Some nice looking technical pieces of kit in here. I think I could spend a day in here. Reminds me of the old engineering days at Leyland. All different various types, some monster shafts here. So all the equipment there laid out. Okay, so here we've got a build sheet. Mike's going to talk us through that.
This gives us what the prop shaft will look like, roughly, as a guide on the prop shaft. Okay. So we've got the length from flange to gearbox seal. This is what the lads work off when they build in here.
So that relies on me supplying that, which I've measured.
So 1279.
Yeah, let's hope that I've got it right. It won't be their fault if it is wrong. That was measured from the rubber flange on the output shaft of the gearbox to the faceplate flange of the axle.
And then we've got the choice of splines at the front, which you've got the Ford Type 9 25 spline.
Yep.
So the lads know how to build the front out of this. This is going to be an up to 250 brake horsepower, a heavy duty version, because of the length of it, of 1279.
Okay.
So the guys know how to build what tube diameters to build it out of. And the rear flange is going to be a Ford 109mm diameter.
See that there?
So now the guys know what this is going through the workshop as, and any other information that we want, so we'll write up here, this is going to be 3-inch diameter tube.
Okay, and this is single piece.
That's a 1-piece.
We're saying Type 9 there, but don't get confused, guys, knowing that I've got the auto box conversion, because Type 9 is the same splines as the A4LD, just in case anyone writes in on that one. Great, so I'll move to the next stage. I've filmed every other bit of the car, so I thought I may as well film this.
Yeah, it's fine, I don't have a problem with me.
And these are Alex's hands, everybody. So that's the yoke, isn't it?
This is a flange.
Flange, yoke into flange, or... No, yeah, it's just flange, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a flange.
See, I don't know what I'm talking about.
circle pliers.
Okay. So a press fit and then a circlip holding in.
Yeah, you just put circle at either end, which keeps it how it should be intact.
Yeah.
Tight fitting.
Yeah.
Now press it into the York.
Okay.
That's good.
It's looking like quite a beefy assembly that then, Alex.
It is. Yeah, that's your first end built up.
Right, nice one. Okay, looking good.
On to the next bit with the spline.
Okay. That bit gets whisked off now.
Yep.
We've got 2 on the go now. And the turnaround time is pretty quick. I was impressed when Michael said you can have it done almost while you wait, which is going. The magic bit.
This is spline this bit. Push it in there. Yeah. Tight fin.
Yeah. I can tell you've done this before.
Many times, yeah. Yeah, that's both ends built up.
Cracking. Thank you, Alex. Okay. So it's all down to my measurement, otherwise I've stuffed it, guys. You can kick me on YouTube.
Even though it's a very thin wall tube, we put a chamfer on the end of the tube so it gives us more to weld to.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
So we cut it a little bit long, usually around about 5 mil long-ish, so we can take 2.5 mil off the side and taper it down to what we need to be.
So So basically you just overcut to play it safe, chamfer in. They're the jaws grip it, aren't they? What wall thickness is that, Mike?
This is 64 thou.
64 thou.
Solid.
74?
Yeah, 74. Surprisingly, the Propshaft tubing is quite thin, really. The strength all comes from diameter.
Yes, I see that, yeah. Okay, so that's the chamfering process. A little bit more. Just a deburr on the end. Out we go. Out the jaws we go.
This is going to take that end out of there, Alex. Yeah, we're going to press that end in first.
Okay, when they're coming from this side, guys, there's the ram. How many tons we got, Mike?
This will go to 50 ton in this machine. So we can use this machine for pressing things in and removing.
Yeah. Into the press for the other end.
This is our Hoffman bouncer machine, one of 3 machines that we've got in the company. It basically acts as if it's your diffing gearbox.
Okay.
On this we'll weld the prop shaft, straighten the prop shaft, and then the final application is balancing the prop shaft. So
Okay.
now Mark's just fastened it onto the machine as if it would be on your vehicle.
Okay.
As a diff in the gearbox.
Take it, you've got a dial gauge there. The app's going to read it in and out or whatever it does. My eyes are looking for some kind of welding arc device and I can't spot it. It's got to be around there somewhere. Look for a big cable.
It's hiding. The whole machine's out.
Ah, right, yeah, okay. Right, helmets on at home, guys, because it's going to get bright. Yep. That'll look good, that. Now, how about that for a neat weld? That is straighter than straight, mixed straight. Lovely. I'm presuming this was spinning when he was welding.
It's all done by hand,
Yeah.
turned by hand, welded by hand.
Yeah, very nice.
Just start and finish his weld when he's turning. He turns the product back.
Yeah. Hand-turned product, magnet to market. Did you like that light show? We're going to give you another one now. As soon as he says helmets down, we're off.
Oh, yes, chaps.
Down. Okay, clear. It looks interesting. Is that the temperature? 16 degrees? It's about 16 degrees today.
That's how flat
It was.
required.
Okay.
And the angle at which is required.
So we've got angle and weight 2 there, okay. Gives us a lottery numbers or not?
Unfortunately not. This machine, now we've done the first balance, it gives us the angle of which we need to add weight. So we need to add 16.1 grams to 43 degree angle on the rear and 9.13 to 11 on the front. But it is classed as intolerance. It's gone green, so it's within the tolerance. We work to G16 tolerance,
okay, right.
So we are within tolerance. So we probably would add a little bit of that because it's nice to get it down a little bit. But now Mark will add probably a 10 gram or 20 gram weight onto the rear at 43. So it tells us
the position,
43, and the weight is added on top, which he'll weld the weight to.
Ah, it's welded on, right? Okay, so it's masks on again.
Masks on again.
And these are those flat weights that you see often when you look in the props, guys, or you got the props off. Just those, just the same radius as the tube, or did this bend to shape? The weights.
Yeah, the weights we bent to shape.
Yeah, pop them in, It's action now.
So now we've just balanced that. We've come down to 586 milligrams, 586 milligrams on the rear, and 5.91 on the front. So it's well within tolerance of what we need, of the speed that it's running at, and the weights that we're running at. So that would be happy with. And
that'll be a smooth transmission.
That should be smooth.
Okay,
smooth
great. It's great. Into the grease nipple there. What's just a heavy duty grease, is it?
We use a high temp grease.
High temp grease, yeah. That's the last step. We are now done. One prop shaft. You can paint yourself, or Northwest will paint it for you. It's totally up to you. I'm taking it to paint myself, simply because I'm going to put a high gloss paint on it. But they do have a paint facility in the workshop. And that's it. We're done. That's one prop shaft complete. Okay, we're out of here. We're all done. Thanks. Tell you what, we're not doing bad. A prop shaft and an exhaust all in one day. We kept with the steel one just for time reasons. An exhaust and a prop shaft all in one day. We're loaded and ready to go back to the unit for final fitment and for engine test. Sloshing about in the back of the Mondeo in a 10-litre jerry can is some fuel. You know where that's going. Let's get this back. Episode 40. Hope you're having a good time. Let's keep going. Guys, that was a heavy one. It is now 20 to 11. I don't even know what date it is. It's October sometime. Maybe it's the 18th or the 19th or something. It's oh sugar. I think it's, it's Tuesday. I can't work out the dates. You can tell in my voice that I've just done 14 hours on the car, and it was a long one. It's coming to the end, but I didn't film a lot, and I know it's part 40, so my apologies. I'll try and catch up the filming tomorrow, but I just got right into it. What I did was I filled it with petrol and checked for any petrol leaks down the fuel lines. Then I got the electrics ready for starting it tomorrow. I'm going to be bleeding the brakes tomorrow, so this video is going to switch from nighttime today to daytime and just show the brake bleeding, and hopefully we'll connect that prop shaft up that we just picked up today. That was a good bit of filming. The prop shaft guys, they were great, weren't they? Really nice people there at Northwest Prop Shafts. So I'm happy we've got a lot achieved. The exhaust got fitted as well. We put it on the low loader, took it to Latham Motorcraft, and we fitted the exhaust. We had to do a few little adaptations because it's got to dodge around the automatic gearbox, so it extended at middle section. I was missing one of the special exhaust hanger brackets. They're like a clamp with a hanger bracket. I'll need to find one of them. We've welded a little bar to one of them for now, but that'll need to be replaced. But it's not going to affect the NEC. These are things which can be done ready for next season. The main thing is to get that car looking good for the NEC and drivable. I hope to be getting it MOT'd next week. I really do expect to get that car out of that garage. The bonnet alignment's gone good. There's a couple of mil just wants shunting a little bit, and then one of the wings just wants pulling on its adjusters just to get it exactly right. But the body shop guys said that they'll do that. So that I've just to got to get it something like close. Now you can tell I'm tired, and I am. I would say now that I'm approaching my own personal limits in terms of mental exhaustion. I've managed to get through this whole series of videos and not be too tired, but towards the end I haven't rushed. It's just that I've added extra hours. I think I mentioned that you don't really want to rush it because you're going to spoil it if you do that. So I've made sure that if a job can't be done right, then I've not done it. And that stands up with the back windows because they're not in yet. The reason being, I'm waiting for a triangle to arrive, tin triangle which goes in the back. They've not arrived. Mk3's very kindly got some out in the post to me. I believe they've arrived. I've not had a chance to check them out, but if I have to, I can use Mark's triangles. But I was hoping on these chrome plated ones coming back, and it's been nearly 2 months. You know, I left them with them guys with loads of time spare, anticipating them back, and I told them the 15th of October, and they've reneged on it. So I'm not recommending them guys. I'm not going to mention them. I don't think it's fair, but I'm telling, won't be using them again. Not the chroming people for the bumpers. They were bang on the money, but these were people for doing the grille and the triangles. Now maybe they'll pull round and do what they say. I mean, you know, they're 5 days late at the moment, I think, and that's annoyed me. I haven't really got annoyed on any parts of this car. You know, 40 videos, 2.5 years of work and challenges along the way, and it's all about problem solving, which is my job anyway as an engineer. And problem solving's what it's all about. I don't interpret it as stress. You know, your brain can filter situations differently. I see them as challenges and problems. However, when it's other people's bugger ups, and that does annoy me a little bit. I tend to just not get annoyed really with that kind of thing. I always give people loads of leeway, and I'm quite an understanding and patient person, so I believe that that's the best way you can be, but there is a limit to that. I'll see how they go. Jury's still open, so I'm just giving this is a video diary section of part 40 because we're coming to the wrap, so I want to tell you a few personal stories about the car journey along the way. So I'm going to infill little sections with me driving home, because driving's a good time to let your mind open up. You tend to find that, I don't know, I'm sure you know this when you do any long distance drive, you tend to get time to think, and thoughts will come to the surface in the working day are suppressed. So it's a good little time to relax and let the reflect on the day that's gone, and indeed for us the project over the last 2.5 years. But not too much yapping because you want action. So for that reason I've got another 10 minutes to go and then I'm back home. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow for the exhaust bits. Final stage is now we're going to get the handbrake cable on. There it is, ready to go on. One handbrake cable, then we're going to bleed them brakes through. We go underneath to check that everything's looking alright. We've got the diff cover to nip up now and fill up with oil. We've got the a few other things to do, some the axle bolts just to nip up, tighten. You'll see the prop in the middle there, nicely fitted. Now it's not painted. They will paint them for you, but I wanted to do they use the high gloss frost chassis black on it, so I've left it unpainted at the moment, but it's only a quick job, 4 bolts to get the prop shaft off. So we'll just test and run the car up first, and for the final stages we can just fine tune those bits. So there we go. I'm going to commission the back axle now and then get the handbrake cable fitted. we should be able to start the engine once that fuel's through. Tank's on and it's got petrol in. I'm going to check the fuel lines now and make sure none of the joints are leaking once the lines are primed up and the fuel's coming up to the engine bay. Then we get some water in, some antifreeze, and start getting ready to start the engine. Part 40 for engine start and live test. We hope you're enjoying. Okay, so bonnet on and bonnet good. Just doing the wings now. I'm just doing the sealant strip down here. It's a quite important bit to seal. I'll talk you through that in a sec, but there's our engine into the bay, of course, and pipes and stuff starting to get connected, radiator on. Put some powered steering fluid in. I've topped up the brake fluid down. We're bleeding through the brakes as we speak. Fuel's made it up through to the flying saucer filter there. So we've got fuel, just fitted the coil. So we're getting close now for the big start up. Before we do, we want to make sure everything's okay mechanically. So we're going round and we're checking all the bolts are tight, track rod ends are nipped up. We're bleeding through the brakes, making sure all these brake connections are correct. Nipping up the bolts through the clip. Checking there's a fuel line pipe going round. That's the route I pick for my fuel line pipe, round and through, and that picks up by going across the inner front valance lower via 8mm fuel clips. I don't know if I covered that on the other videos. Anyway, this important seal here. Now you can see that we're under the arch here now. This is going to get full of mud. So what I do, as opposed to using those tech screws that they have, I like to put these captive bolts on and a nut, and then I can wind them in with a spanner and it squishes nicely out the sealant strip, and you can sort of hold the sealant strip in place. This is a sealant strip from Frost. Okay, it's a rubberized sort of mastic on little rolls. We saw that on the wings. So I'm going to hold that between this important flange fit here and then tighten it up, and it's going to squish this out. Gives you a bit more control. Now I don't know if it's overpaintable. I mentioned that again earlier on. It doesn't really matter if it's not, because it's going to make a good seal, and then we can push back and just face it off with some sealant that's overpaintable if we have to. But I like this stuff, so we're going to insert that into that mud trap there, and then we're going to compress them nuts and bolts that are fitted, which are better than the techs. Alright, and then squish that out. So here we go for that. Let me fit that into the front wing, and let's get the other side done as well. We want to get this car moving. The prop shaft's on as well, by the way. Fitted that last night. So we're looking forward to starting up and driving. Okay, this is what I mean about using your bolt technique. Watch how that now squishes out that sealant, and you get a really good fit. That gives you the control. So that's front wing to lower valance front, cage nuts fitted, and then sealant strip in, and off I go. It's a bit dark under here, guys, and we're squishing out there. Proper fit, and that also gives you an element of adjustment if you needed it on the front fit. But I think we're okay. Very nice, look at that. Okay, so we're sealed there, sealed from the elements there. Another good application for the sealing strip is for sealing in your indicators. They require a mud-proof seal as well, because they get hit by the motion of the wheel flicking up the mud. So if you see, there's a recess on the die-cast casing there. So we're going to insert the caulk strip to that. But what we're going to do, we'll put the light in without the lens on, because just in case it gets caught, and as you're drawing on that bolt inside on the wing, don't forget to clean the metal face of your wing mounting point, because it needs that for earth. So that bolt's got to connect to earth to get a good ground for the bulb. But take the plastic casing off before you bolt this up, and then offer it up later, because otherwise you can do what I've done in the past and crack these. Luckily I already broken one, but that's what you get on that. Be a bit more careful. Okay, so just be careful. I've already broke one, but wouldn't like to break this, so I'll take the cover off and then bolt this in, then offer the final lens cover on. But that caulk strip will compress and fit around the wing. Some wings are different and bad for mounting these indicators. You might notice on yours they're never quite square. It's just the way the pressings were on the wings. Some are worse than others. I checked these before I did it, and I had to grind a bit off just to get the indicator to go into that wing. So remember that if you're restoring. Brian might want to take note of this in Malta. Say hello to Brian in Malta. He's doing a shell on YouTube. Oh, he's at least uploaded some pictures on YouTube, but it's mainly on our Buy Sell Cortina site. But Brian, if you're there, just remember, if you're doing them lovely wings, fit your indicators and then you get them painted with all the mods already done. Okay, let's get this on. Another tip for you, if you can, use one of these washers with the indentations or barbs or spikes in them. See those? Clean the face of the inner part of the wing, then put some grease on it just to stop it rusting, but it'll still be able to conduct. Then these teeth on this washer dig in and create the ground with your 10mm bolt, okay, which fits on all there like that. So just get a good earth. So sand off a little patch of metal because you'll have paint on at the moment, then grease it, then tighten up with this. Let's do that. That's the spirit thing. Lend a hand. In we go. I'm going to pull that through and push that in. Okay, offered up, just waiting now. 10mm spanner to pull that through. That's the indicator front, offside. Radiator on, radiator shroud on, hoses checked, water in, oil level checked, fuel present at the carb, it's now pumping through there. We've got a spark on the king lead. Power steering fluid I've just topped up. Automatic gearbox just checked. We're now bleeding the brakes through. Pressurised system, what's called easy bleed. This one's by Gunson easy bleed. Spare tyre on this is the airline onto your spare tyre. Cloth round, watch out for spills, top up your fluid, pressurise the system, then let your bleed nipple off. Do the back first, then the front. We're doing that now. So I go down here, got me tyre. There's the connection. We just need now get this spanner. The bleed nipples just inside. I've done the back. Just get the cake container now to catch the fluid, and off we go for bleeding brakes. Bleeding brakes. Nearly there. The great thing about this easy bleed system, you can do it all yourself. So I just fit that onto the nipple there. We've got our spanner on ready. Onto the tyre we go, so I can do it all on my own. Here we go for bleeding the brakes. I'm on the other side now, and we're gonna let go on the nipple. There's our air coming out, only a little bit. Now I lift up my head and watch the reservoir. Keeping my eye on the reservoir while this drains off. Looking for any more bubbles. Not seeing any. This is very good quality. This looks good. One bumper to go on. We're nearly at the end of the trim now as we inspect S&T's superb chrome work. Like the back bumper, we think it's just going to be as good. Well, it's a mirror, and it's nice. Gotta put this on because the water collects in that little channel there. It just rot out. Just hoping that the grease is gonna give it long life. Washed it down, blown it out with the air gun so it's bone dry. It's a new one, but it's, you know, 45 years old, whatever. Got some storage kinks, but we'll straighten it as it goes on. Just gonna feed it in and then work my way up that end. So it's 10mm bolts and washers. I've just bought new ones. In we go at the side. Your little 10, and it's all, the clips are all ready lined up. I'm just going to nip them up with this, put the screwdriver attachment on it, makes it easy just to wind it in. We'll wipe all the grease down after. It doesn't attack chrome, so that's okay. Same as the back bumper job that we did with Sean. And when Big Sean was there, it gets a bit easier on this now. Just feeding it in as we go. We'll grease the back of the bumper as well, so we're nearly finished in episode 40. I think I've been calling it episode 39 and it's not, it's been episode 40. I've been getting it wrong. People are going to be cursing me for that. So wheel arch trims and the grille will be one of the last things to go on the car. We're going to be taking it out for a test drive. Rick's going to be filming. We may or may not have windows in it at that point. The chrome triangles for the back windows, they're missing. They're in the post. We're hoping they arrive today, but we have got some courtesy of Mk3 very kindly sent in, sitting there as our extra insurance policy. But because I've had word the tin triangles are on the way, we're holding out on the back door completion job. But we don't anticipate more than a couple of days work on this project now for part 40. Then we'll show you at the MOT station. Then that's it, we're finished. That's much of the same now. I'll go along and finish this off. And we've got these underriders too. They're in pretty good order. They need a little bit of clean up and grease, but the chrome's intact on these. We've got 4 to pick from, so we'll pick the best. Captive nut going in there so that this can locate on and go through. Again, grease all that. Captive nut inside this and you bolt through your lower valance. And don't forget, you have little plastic plates here to stop this scuffing your paint. So it's a shaped piece of plastic. You can use a white plastic off a washing up bottle type tub, a 5 litre tub, cut a square. If you've not got them clips, they just go on like that. I'll show you them later. Okay. Don't forget these from Resto again. Captive cage nut for the end of the bumper there. In they go, just clip in from the back. Look. A little bit tricky with the camera, but I'll let go and snap that in. Some different types here. We're using those ones for the underrider connections. The bumper irons as well. I think they share that. We'll show you in a minute what we mean. The underriders share that fitting for the actual mounts for the bumper into the chassis of the car. One more to go at the other end, up that way. Now that stops the metal to metal on your car, little plastic isolators. Another one here, and that goes on the end there. Just the clip in. You can make them if you've not got them. Say use a bottle and just curve it. It's going to be too hard to make those, but that's what you need when you mount your bumper. Front one at least. I think you only use these on the lower underrider at the back. make sure you get your irons the right way. There's a scallop cut out to allow the front underrider to sit in, and that curves over the top of the bumper, so you're looking at something like that. Same for the other side, so that faces inwards. Some more grease on there in a minute. It's not too much grease, don't worry, it needs it, because these collect water big time in there, and they rot out. This is an exciting part of it. We've got Raisins back on the job. He likes to get many things straight. I do too. We're going to drill these holes out for the nice new reg plates. That was the old one we used to mock up. We're going to transfer the markings across to this and make sure everything's OCD line straight. Exciting. Reg plates, ladies and gentlemen. Slip them straight through. Just need a grill. If only the grill people had done their own work and sent me my grill that I ordered 2 months ago. I think the car's listening to me and agreeing. Fist is a pudding. Drunk as a lord he was. I want to preserve that nice 71BB 16039AA. That means you've got yourself an arch trim. And we've got ourselves 4 arch trims, and we're greasing them up and offering them up to the car. The holes are already drilled, so we're just going to rivet these on. That's going to finish all the trim very nicely. Hard to get hold of, I've sat on them for a while. I need them, they're going on. Let's fit. Okay guys, in my hands, one of the very last trims, at least on this side of the car, to go on. This is the rear door, the offside rear passenger door trim with a new rubber insert on it. Now you'll see, laying in the channel of the trim is the window seal from wooliestrim.co.uk, and I've used a self-adhesive double-sided panel fixing foam strip, the very thin stuff. Don't use the thick stuff because it will push the felt out too far. It's on a green roll, happened to be exactly the right width for this trim. Laid it down double-sided, then slowly feed the felt into the stainless all the way along, because this will tend to try and pop out because it's on a curve as it kicks up for the back door. So you feed that in and lock it down. That's nicely locked down. Now we've had all the trim clips fitted, I use that cranked screwdriver to slot each clip in, lithium grease on first, clipped all them in, and then on the other side as well. Now I did that after the glass was in, because on here it's a bit tight. As you're lowering that glass down, you could scratch it. There's sharp edges on the edge of those trim clips. The two here at this side of the door, closest to the B pillar, they're the hardest to get in, especially on the other side of the glass. You might want to risk it and put those in before the glass goes in, but I did feed them in and clipped them in place, so they're done. Looking on the inside then of the door, one of the last to do it, there's our triangles, they're in. So we've got our door lock. Don't forget that rear door locks are different than the front, because they have the child lock tab just there and a different operating bar for the locking pin. You've got a lever here for the locking pin, look. That bar goes along and then connects into the back of here on the rods. There's the inner opening door handle. Greased here, then these anti-rattle pads. If you flick the bars and the rattling, that's going to happen when you're in the car. So you find any rattle points. I found one there. Lithium grease and a double-sided foam pad. So when I flick the bar now, we don't get those annoying rattles. There's a potential here, listen to that, possibly, but I don't think so when that locking pin's on. I'm happy with that. Okay, so all the 10mm bolts tightened up, glass in, and then testing the winder. and we're winding. Okay, there's grease all over my lens, sorry about that. Okay, so that's all locking in place. A little bit of mastic just seeping out the edge of the triangle. That's okay, we'll wipe that later. So we're ready to fit this trim clip here. We push that in after greasing the clips to receive the trim. Then we do the outer trim that goes on last. Be very careful when you got this trim in your hand just to not catch the car. This goes in and the rest of the trim clips over it. So we can push that in now, and you'll see that the blade will give a nice clean fit. I've just cut my finger, so I've got masking tape on it. Okay, clipping this in then next for rear door. Final assembly on rear doors. Just to keep you updated where we left off, it's been a day since I was last filming. We were doing that bumper, we're all on and we're all straight. We were doing that reg plate, we're all on and we're all straight. So stepping back then for the car, you'll see it starting to near completion. It's a good job because I've only got 2 days left to get out of here. They're kicking me out. They want me out. I overstayed my welcome. Let's get this door card all fitted out. There's not much left to do. Okay, you're going to notice something as I'm filming this. You're going to see something glowing there. So we reveal now some of the secrets of the Golden Nile. We've got puddle lights here. Look. Let's put something under that you can see these trim clips. No, let's just use this little. Look. We've got puddle lights, Granada Mk3, removable from the outside, already fitted into the doors, already painted with the holes. I kept it secret. I didn't want you to know about it till the very last moment. They're going to look superb. They're on the door switch, operated by the door switch. We've got the neatest grommet in the world holding these together. Look at this. So here come the secrets. Proper grommet with proper clip-in plug. Very neat. Also could be used for upgrading the car if anything needed to be fitted into the doors, such as central locking, electric windows if someone was upgrading the car. I won't be doing those things, but the grommets are in place. So you've got that option to add items if you want. But there's our puddle lamps, ordered by the customer, Jim. He said he'd like puddle lamps on the car, so we've fitted puddle lamps on the car. I hope you like them. We think they're discreet, you can't tell they're there, you've just got to look out for them. Very neat, there you go, very neat, see? Okay, off we go then. Carry on with this trim. I want to get you wrapped. This is part 40, nearly coming to an end. We've only got to finish this, then we're driving down the MOT station. Can you stand the suspense? Let's move. Then we're going for a drive out in the car. I'm talking fast because I want to get going. Yeehaw, let's move. Okay, let's take you around, look at that trim that's just been clipped on. There we go. There is a procedure for it. I put the lower one on, leave the triangle loose so that it can move around because this has to feed just in the front edge of the triangle. Leave this end a little bit loose here just because you've got to feed this final trim in, which is the last piece on because it overlaps the top. So this trim, lower trim with the rubber seal, put that in and leave the end here just a little bit loose. Leave the triangle loose so you can feed it just down the edge of the triangle. That's where it sits. As you'll see that this final trim overlaps it, so you can't put this on first. So that on, then that C trim, then that end cap, then slot it into there, then finally push down that piece like that. And if all your clips are good, it grabs and snaps and you're off. So that completes that trim there. We've got to obviously clean the glass. It gets grease on it and all mucky prints, but it's worth it when you're doing the all correct. You'll see now we've got these clips exposed. That's for grabbing the inner channel, which I use the outer rubber seal the same on the inside because it also works. That's only on GXLs because the door card hides it, so that's great. I'm going to do the polythene now. We do the airtight polythene as we did on the front doors. Double-sided tape, polythene on, a couple of cuts for the apertures, then tape round the cuts, foam donut for the winder handle, and we're good to go. We've wax oiled in there already, so we're fine. Polythene on then for part 40. Just wiping down the surface where the double-sided tape's going to be with some isopropanol. Basically it's just a non-thinners based cleaner. It's used for paint prep. Could use any type of degreaser. You just want that tape to be a good adhesion there. So here's our tape coming up in my hand there. That's the Scotch carpet tape. Stick on, cut, then get the polythene, and we'll stretch that polythene so we get the drum. We're nice and tight there. Okay, tape on the radio. Tape on, guys, ready for the polythene. Okay, door card ready. Foam, polythene nice and taut. Foam donut just hanging over the winder there. Tape round the handle where the cuts were made. Tape over the spindle where the cut was made, just to stop it tearing out. Just duct tape for that. That's nicely on now, so we're going to offer the door card up. We're nearly done here, this side, guys. Getting exciting. Let's do this. Lovely door card to go on. Just forgot to say there, again, another Resto winner for us. 78020 for your door card new securing plastic clips. You might find these break, they often do. This door card needs a few adding to it, so we're just going to clip these on in the various places that they're missing on this door card, and then we're going to clip up, okay? Just reminding us to help you guys. Resto 78020 for those parts, door card clips. Whoops, guys, did you spot it? I forgot to put the pocket in, which takes the ashtray. The ashtrays comes into the car, so you've got to have a pocket. So we've made an airtight pocket, a square, fold, a bit like wrapping a parcel, fold the edges, insert that into a square cutout, then line that. Just check you've got no air gaps. We want to be totally air sealed here. So air pocket, recess pocket there for the door card to fit into. Okay, done that. Now we'll put the door card on. Sorry about that. Now then, this is the magic bit. Cards on, but look how we use that outside weather seal to make a very nice GXL internal weather seal. Just getting that rubber there. Those clips that we put on, we put the outside clips also on the inside, whereas normally you'd use smaller clips and a felt rubbing pad on here. But it's not original, but it's better. And then you just push down, and look how that clips over the top of the door card to make an ultra clean, very factory looking, and very, more importantly, very airtight factory seal. Look, beautiful, real beauty fit. Look at that for quality. That lip just lands on the top of there, so down we go, and you'll find it so good that the rubbers join together as the window goes. See, just look at that. Oh yeah, wow. I mean, that's quality. That's what you call. So this door should be really airtight. Pulling back for you, I'm just trying to get you the good angles as I can, but I'm so excited in this part of the video that I'm forgetting my basic filming techniques, so slow down, calm down, there we go. Better, Snickers, better. Door card, glass, trim, everything. That's that side done. We can close it up. Needs to dust down. We'll do all that when we come to the valeting. Our certificate insurance on the back seat. We're ready for the MOT. So we've gone ahead. We're insured. Got to get the agreed value sorted, but we're insured at the moment. Okay. Next, door side please. I'll get rid of these adverts. Bye. Okay, we've got all the locking bars on here now. Just fitted all the trim clips along the top using that. Remember this tool, just to get us in. Rest your clip in and tap at the side, you'll get them. Grease on the clips before they go in as well, that helps. So spray grease on, get yourself a grease tube that's pressurised, you can spray each clip. Very good. So now, the top, rewind, the carpet tape again, and then the polythene on for this door. Remember to cut out for the ashtray in the rear doors. Checking all the bars aren't vibrating. We've got the pads behind them. No rattles on here, locking pins all okay, so we think we've got everything there. We're ready for polythene, then door card, then the final trim on the outside, around the door frame. Then we're gonna test drive the car. Here we go. nearly there. Someone get me some new clothes, will you? These rags are falling to bits. So, tired, busy, 10-hour days, sometimes 12-hour days. The days go on and on, you know, blend into the night. But I only just needed a sense of some place to go, and this is it. Cortina. Nearly done. You're right by it, you're right with me. It's a Saturday. I don't know the date though, I'm not sure. I've lost the plot. Maybe we'll stick this clip at the end of the film. God, do I need a rest. The trick is though not to rush it. You've just still got to take your time, and if you don't make it, you don't make it. But what you don't want to do is rush this job. You've just got to pace yourself out, which we have done. This is the last part to do, other than the front grille. It's the last part to do. Everything else is on. As far as I know, everything else is on. And we know that engine was running because it's on the jig, so the fuel's there, the spark's there. I know it's going to start. It's a no-brainer. Propshaft's on, so we should be in business. Axle's tightened up and we've got fluid in the axle. I've just got to cut these slits now. You see that there, and then there we've got the cigarette tray. So we cut just a little bit of Blue Peter moment now. We'll cut a square of polythene, fold the edges into like a cube, then you drop it in, then tape it round. So we make a little recessed cube for the cigarette tray. That stops any air getting in. If you're just to cut a hole out, no, 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 no. Botch, botch, botch. We tried to make every job on this car as attention to detail as we can and as neat as we can. We don't like things being botched. So I'm pretty much getting there now. I reckon 2 hours and I'm done. I'm driving. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're done there. We're going to sign this card now. There's our recess, there's our handle, door card ready to go on. Last job, because it's the last job, we sign that off now. Let me get a pen. That card signed off. I'm putting the door card on right now. There's the other one on that side, doesn't that look nice? Okay, let me plug that on. Guys, we're fully trimmed out. Other than the rear wheel arch, we are fully trimmed out. Okay, we've got the rear wheel arch, so don't worry, it's just I've not had the chance to fit that yet. I'm going to leave that till tomorrow so I'm a bit fresher, because it's an important job. I've done the front wheel arches, you saw us just riveting those up. So the last piece of trim went on, and this, well, I'd say other than the wheel arches, the last vertical trim piece all snapped in. When you just need to wipe the grease down, tighten that bolt back up there on that triangle now that that's fed in over the triangle. So we get the screwdriver, this is the last job for today. Offer it up, tighten it up, pulls the triangle back, and that's it. Good night, we're done. We have a fully trimmed out car, as I said, other than the arch. So 2 wheel arches, 1 front grille, and that is it. How long is it going to take to do them? About an hour. So we are 1 hour away. We've got to modify the rear boot applique. It needs thinners on that black because that's a facelift colour. They were just purely chrome with 2 black stripes. That centre big black stripe's got to be taken off. You can't get pre-facelift appliques. That's exactly the same, except it's got paint on it. Once you finish it off, the satin paint comes off, you're back to what it should be like. So we'll walk round for you. We're going to drive out, we're going to start up, let's do it. This is Ruby reporting to base, reporting to YouTube. You all YouTube viewers, you know I say thanks for the support. We're gonna top it off with a party with episode 40, but just for now, just for your teaser, some snapshots. Oh, a kick down. We've got it. Oh, the gearbox. Woohoo! Any bangs, rattles, shakes, looses? I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, I'm going to try that cruise in a minute. Let's get on the dual carriageway. Hang on, let's just turn Barbara off. On the dual carriageway. Jeez, this is a bumpy road. Taking it in its stride, we're looking good. Let's do an auto wash wipe. Oh my god. Here we go. Oh wow. Whoa. Wow. Systems are active. We got rain sensing on. There's our extra wash. And now we get a wipe and a follow wipe. Oh yeah. As I negotiate the corners to work. Heated seats on, I'm getting burnt. I better turn that down. Okay. Got some grease on the screen from the all the oil and things we've been messing with, you know, greasy palm prints and that, but let's keep going. Wow, do you see how fast wipe and then finish? Just clearing up the so we got that, and I resume filming on the dual carriageway. So we're road testing. It's all updated on Twitter, by the way. If you're on there, go and have a look. See you in a bit. Here on the gear stick, still red, cruise holding 43 on the sat nav, 43 on the dashboard. Still 43. It's working at that speed. Changing lanes. Making another run down the dual carriageway for the third run now. Temperature just under half. Fuel just half. 3/4 on it. Pressing brake. Cruise has dropped out. Illuminators green. Indicating right. Going for the third run. Automatic lights are on. Headlamp adjustment is guessed at the moment. No one's flashing me. They seem around the right area. Back onto the dual carriageway. Building up speed. 3000 RPM. No gear change yet. Engine pinking. 45 mile an hour, 3000 revs, waiting to change. Change now. 45, 2200 revs at 45. Going for cruise now. Cruise active. Cruise locked on. Illumination red. 44 mile an hour. 43, 44, no feet on the controls, feet are free.
Spartan 2 Landstream. Spartan 2 clear for land 1 in. Turn 3 degrees heading 0, question 2 degrees heading 060. 3.5 miles, 1050 feet.
Right, I'm just on the glide path.
This wind is 36012. Turn left of centre line, correcting slowly, heading 060. 3 miles, 100 feet.
Cruise still on. Cruise successful. Gonna go for a cruise kill on the stalk now. We should drop speed. Yes, cruise dropping out, speed reducing. Changing lanes. Indicate right, going for the fourth run. No, I don't think my flash went off. that what it does? Pick up the flash as a trigger?
It's a radio sensor to that, and then the other's got sensor on it, and they all flash within hundredths of a second.
Okay. Wow. Well guys, we're getting ready to sign the car off. We're MOT'd, taxed, of course insured. Just the slam panel decals to put on. We're not doing them because on Monday the car goes in for its polish. So they didn't shine up the slam panel, even though it's clean. They go over the whole car, so they don't want to damage the label. So we put them on very last minute. Round we go. And we're pretty much done. There was a slight leak on the banjo on the power steering. We nipped that up. Plenty of road testing. Muddy conditions at the moment. The roads are covered in grime. There's no way around it. It's got to be tested. So out I go on the roads, testing and continually testing. We're up to 200 miles already on the test runs. Alright, but a little walk round of the car as promised will look better on Monday when it's cut and polished. So we'll chrome it up, shine it up for you, but just in the intermediate period, here we are. Interior's all complete. Let's take you inside. We shall open the door. Step inside, sir. My left hand goes to the door, right hand with the camera. We're in. Down the camera goes to reveal the interior. All done. A little look-see in the back ski. Slowly bringing you around. And then our headlining. Pan through the dash. Let the camera adjust its light. It doesn't work fantastic, as you know, in low level light. My camera, it's a good all-rounder, but low level struggles a bit. So looking almost ready for the NEC, everybody, and looking almost finished for part 40. Just a few little things to finish your part 40 off, then we'll be saying goodbye. We'll say goodbye to the workshop. I'm going to go and say goodbye to the workshop now. So this is our home for 2.5 years. We'll miss it, but we've got to move out. We can re-kit out somewhere else, don't worry. I quite miss this little space. It was quite good fun in here. So here you were for all those episodes 1 to 40. Most of them in here, and we rolled that car out, and of course towards the end we escaped, but the workshop, we say goodbye. Old schematics of the past now. This can just be wiped clean. Let's look at our lists. Brake servo, prop shaft, trim, paint, cruise, headlining, pipes, cooler box, gearbox, rear lamps, centre console, door, handles, battery and lead, stalk, anti-roll bar bushes. We haven't done the rear anti-roll bar. It's an optional thing, can be put on at any time. That list has just reminded me, anti-roll bar at the back, servo hose, heater hose, tail lights, reg plate lights, door pulls, chrome. Look at all those things that we planned out, and here the schematic for the cruise. We just wipe it away after we photograph it because it worked, went to plan. That was quite good. Reminders of the past there. And if we go down here, we see Ruby's original plate as seen on the scrapyard photo, the exact plate actually. How that survived in that yard remains to be seen, but this is the plate which is on a photo which somebody sent me when they actually found a scrapyard with the car in. An old photo with this plate. I can tell it's the plate because I can see the sticker. Oh, that's quite crazy. We're going to bring this, in fact, let's bring this with us to the NEC actually. Okay, great.
We don't film it, we don't press.
Nothing.
Oh, it's going,
Go
right.
just look at that screen.
Yeah.
And because I've got to say goodbye to the workshop, right? So this is the workshop where I've built the Cortina. And this is the end of episode 40. Mark's filming. Mark with that yellow GT. And we're clearing out. We've just been polishing the car. It's all getting ready. I'm saying goodbye to all of this. But before we do, over this way, someone from YouTube kindly sent me, we don't want to show the address there, but I'm going to open this. This is a final finishing touch for the car. Let's see, can you guess what it is? I think I've got an idea, but this is good for the car. Just make sure that's framed, Mark, alright. Ready? Is it going to go? This is from the original Wallace. Very kindly sent me this.
Wow.
Oh my god. Thank you, Original Wallace. I don't know his actual first name, I only know him as Original Wallace. He's on YouTube. So we're ending 40 soon, we're going to do a quick photo shoot, but look at that to hang on the dash.
Proper.
Oh yeah. Touch of Marillion there as well, the lavender. Okay. He's been asking me, because this has been missing. He said it first. So, point of view, POV view, point of view, view. Ruby on the way home after the shoot in the multi-story car park. Camera's going to struggle to focus, I'm afraid. You'll see that cruise light on the dash there. Probably looks brighter to you than what it actually is. That indicates cruise control. If I flip the switch, you'll see it drop out. If I activate again, you'll see it come in. That just tells me cruise is on. It needed that because I didn't want to keep looking at the T-shifter stick. I'm going to press the brake pedal as I go through the roundabout. Light is off now. Approach the roundabout and through we go. Feeding it through. A little bit of power down there. Resume the cruise and off it goes and pull me back up to the speed that I was at. So we've done plenty of that. I'm sure you're sick of the sound of it now, the cruise, but we say good night, we say goodbye. So we'll end as we always do, or quite often do, on a sort of trip back home. So I hope you enjoyed this episode 40 and indeed the entire series of Project Ruby. Hold on, I'll turn my heater off, it's a bit quieter then. Everything's working good, just a little bit of pinking which just needs advance or retard on the ignition there to get it so it's pink free. That trip up to the 220 mile trip up to Penrith was great with no problems. A little bit of some clunky gear changing to do with the vac modulator on the gearbox, which we can sort that out by adjusting the vac modulator setup. Other than that, it's all good, so I thank you again. We'll see you soon. We've said a lot of goodbyes, so it's finally over and out for episode 40. Sees you driving home in Ruby. Job finished. Good night, and I'll see you again for something new soon. Over and out. We're done. We did it, everyone. Let's go. See you at the NEC, because this is the night before. See you in a bit. Bye. Good night.